have kids. Get married and have kids. And yes, in that order. But do it. Do it now. Or at least sooner than you think you should, especially if you're ambitious and on the move. Embrace the chaos. Embrace your nature. Make it the rock-solid, rebar-reinforced concrete foundation of your identity. And when you do, you might just discover the biggest secret of our age, that having kids is the ultimate act of liberation. I'm here, and this channel exists to say that becoming a parent in general, and a dad in particular for my fellow guys out there, can not only give your life purpose like no other choice you face, but can also free you to pursue your dreams in ways you never thought possible. We are living through a truly ironic moment in our history. After thousands of years of brutal struggle for survival, we have built a civilization that has defied all of the doomsday predictions and delivered unprecedented opportunity, calm, and comfort to the majority of 8 billion people on this planet. But a new horizon is dawning, and our greatest challenges no longer lie from without, but from within.
It's in your nature to destroy yourselves.
Yeah. Major drag, huh?
Our widespread, fact-free fears of catastrophe are rooted in the very thing that enabled our stunning success, our incredible adaptability. Our brains continue to change over our entire lives, a capacity called neuroplasticity. We adapt to almost any environment and renormalize our expectations almost instantly.
Now we gotta make the best of it. Improvise, adapt to the environment, whatever, man, we gotta roll with it.
We refine our senses as our environment becomes more refined. We literally become more sensitive through a process known as perceptual learning. For example, studies have found that careful training can dramatically improve people's ability to detect subtle differences in colors. Experienced painters literally see the world differently than the rest of us.
This is your world, so you can do anything that you want to do.
Musicians hear the world differently. And comfortable, coddled first world children experience the world differently than we used to. This is the deeply human, inescapable reason for first world problems. Today's so-called microaggressions feel like actual aggression to those who've never experienced the brutal hardships that befell all of our ancestors. This is why America can elect and then re-elect Barack Obama. Yet millions are willing to pretend that racism today is as bad as it was in Jim Crow Alabama. It's why we can vanquish acid rain, heal the ozone layer, conquer smog, clean our rivers, and green the earth, and yet have a generation that's easily convinced our environment is on the verge of collapse. Adversity made us strong and oversensitive. Wealth and comfort bring with them this psychological autoimmune disease. We are more sensitive to everything, including peanut dust. Evolution built us like tanks to survive the war of all against all in the brutal natural world. Now we're driving our tanks down suburban streets looking to aim those overpowered guns at smaller and smaller targets, both figuratively and literally. This is a major reason for our mental health decline in the rich first world. For all that's changed in our material world, we physically haven't changed as much as we think. We aren't much different than our ancient ancestors. We still have the same simple needs: food, friendship, family. We get nourished in nature. Countless studies find measurable benefits of spending as little as 20 minutes in green spaces. But we don't crave nature for its tranquility. We crave its adversity. We need that challenge. We are anti-fragile creatures. That's the real balance that's been thrown off by our wealthy world. And there's no healthier or more meaningful way to embrace adversity like having kids. And specifically, having them early, like we used to, and like our bodies are built for. All the personal reasons people give for delaying starting a family, all the costs kids impose are better understood as benefits in today's wealthy world. Sleepless nights, chaos, financial insecurity, scary trips to the ER, poop everywhere. The struggles are real.
And they're spectacular.
We've convinced ourselves that we need to have everything figured out, financially and otherwise, before we start a family. But this is a fallacy. Having a family is what helps us figure everything out. Again, in today's world, yesterday's costs are tomorrow's benefits. Having kids in your 20s, early in your marriage when you're not making much money and still feel like a kid yourself, is good for them and for you. Today's sterilized snowplow childhoods haven't done our fragile young people any favors. Kids don't need more stuff or more scheduling to thrive. They need less. Being young and broke as parents prevents you from spoiling your kids. It forces you to get creative. It forces them to deal with discomfort and boredom, to learn how to live with delayed gratification. And even being bullied a little bit can't hurt either on the helpful adversity front.
Kevin, you're such a disease.
Shut up.
We're better off when we learn early that we are strong and will survive whatever comes our way. A little bit of bullying goes a long way on that front, and there's no better bullies than your siblings. Just ask my sister. Having kids young is good for your relationships too. Shared adversity builds the strongest bonds. You share the struggles and the confusion of it all. You go into it convinced you'll screw up and bring your baggage along with you. Raising young kids beats you up together. Oh! And that's a good thing.
Oh, God! You make me throw up!
It's a kind of marital hazing ritual.
Okay, give me the wipes!
Studies of hazing in all sorts of groups, from families to firefighters to fraternity brothers, have found that shared pain fosters social solidarity. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger together. Our relationships, just like our immune systems, are anti-fragile too. No pain, no gain. But one of the most powerful forces I've experienced in becoming a father is one nobody prepared me for. It set me free. Free of my own ego, free of my attachments, free to go for broke. You see, my son was a surprise, so I lucked into this discovery early. I was 28 when he was born, and my wife Lisa and I were both working in television in New York City. His birth changed everything. It changed me. We were both workaholics, staying late most nights at the Nickelodeon offices where we met, and, entertainment is an ego-driven business, and I was no different. Like every other snooty film school graduate, I wanted to be the next Steven Spielberg. I was and remain a striver. My career progress was the cornerstone of my young identity, which meant that I was constantly comparing myself to other people. And this is the fatal mistake too many of us make. Comparison, as they say, is the thief of joy for a reason. Envy is a deadly sin. Wrapping up your identity in your goals creates a fatal cost for failure. Losing means you're a loser, and you are going to lose along the way. There's no such thing as overnight success. And then there's the success trap. Remember, we are remarkably adaptable to both adversity and delight. It turns out that pursuing pleasure and success is not a path to lasting happiness. Win an Oscar, you'll be on cloud 9 for a few months. Climb the corporate ladder and get a big new promotion. Same deal, new wears off. The water finds its level again. Even winning the lottery won't make you happy for long, and there are lots of studies to back that one up. Welcome to the hedonic treadmill. The selfish pursuit of success is a Sisyphean myth. This is what the red pill right-wingers and hustle porn purveyors on the internet get dead wrong. As Viktor Frankl notes in his classic book, Man's Search for Meaning,
happiness cannot be pursued. It must end soon. Doing so would be the same as urging people posed in front of a camera to say cheese, only to find that in the finished photographs their faces are frozen in artificial smiles.
For Frankl, happiness is a kind of bank shot best achieved through the search for meaning. And that search involves 3 primary paths, each of which I found in becoming a father. We find meaning through loving relationships, triumphing over hardships, and creating value for others in our work. Having kids checks all of these boxes. It's not always fun, but it's filled with meaning. But it's Frankl's other insight that really changed everything for me when my son was born. Frankl notes that even in the worst circumstances, we all retain one final freedom, the freedom to choose how we respond to those circumstances. This isn't the last human freedom, it's the first. And becoming a dad activated it like nothing else. My family became the foundation of my identity. My selfish striving and ego became a negotiation I was willing to walk away from at any time. That is a powerful hand to play in life. People talk about wanting FU money so they can be free to pursue their dreams. Well, my son gave me that freedom before I hit 30, and it changed everything. I quit my job a few years later. I started a company with my wife, Lisa, and we moved here to Texas. We've survived near-death experiences, the pandemic, and personal attacks without losing any sleep. All of that is possible because we're free, because we know what matters. We know who we are, and everything else is gravy. This is the selfish reason to have kids. It will liberate you from your own worst enemy, your ego. It will set you free to pursue a life of meaning on which true happiness is built. It will force you to experience essential adversities that our modern world has made tragically optional. And as it turns out, being married with children is also the path to material wealth. Married men earn much more than unmarried men. Married couples end up 10 times wealthier. And kids don't, on average, make career advancement harder either. Sizable majorities of both men and women report having kids did not negatively impact their careers. But material well-being only goes so far. The environmentalists have gotten that one exactly right. The real benefit of getting married and having kids is that it's a ticket off that hedonic treadmill and on to the adventure of a lifetime.
Up, down, up, down. Oh, what a ride.
In fact, you get 3 lifetimes in one. You live your own life through your eyes. Then you see the whole world again through the beginner's mind of your child, but with a little more wisdom. And then, if you're lucky, you get to see it again as a grandparent. In a world desperate for meaning, our basic survival instinct has provided the best one of all: creation.